this meeting to order, the July 21st regular bi-monthly meeting of the Sequatchie County Commission. First and foremost, as in every meeting, gentlemen, ladies, remove your hats. Stand. We first want to start with prayer. Mr. Pike.
Let us pray. Our gracious Heavenly Father, as we come before you this day, we thank you for the beauty and glory around us. We ask, Lord, that you be with the blessings and everyone here tonight. We ask, Lord, that you guide us in the right direction in whatever situation we might come in contact with. We ask, Lord, that you move those that are sick and downtrodden. If it be thy will, make them whole again, they might be deliverers of the gospel for you. These things we ask in thy humble name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Sheriff, I see you're out in the forest. Where is our sheriff?
Back here.
Good to see these guys. I'd ask you to lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
Sure. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Okay, again, I want to welcome everyone to the bi-monthly meeting of the Sequatchie County Commission. We welcome our friends from BTC Fiber tonight as usual and thank them for what they do, helping us with better transparency. First and foremost, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Linda Landowski. Here. Chester Shell.
Here.
Brian Ruling.
Here.
Lane Lane.
Here.
James Freeland.
Here.
Brian Walker.
Here.
Joyce Dodson. Here. James Wilson.
Here.
Jeff Barger.
Here.
Paul Powell.
Here.
Michael Hudson.
Here.
Jim Dishman. Here. Frank Silver.
Here.
Susan Bostic. Wayne Clemens.
Here.
Tommy Johnson.
Here.
Tom Venero.
Here.
Jeff Mackey.
Here.
We have a quorum. Commissioners, in your package, you should have received the minutes from the June 30, 2025 minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve said minutes. I have a motion from Mr. Silver. I have a second from Mr. Clemens. Any corrections, deletions, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, said minutes hereby pass. Okay, moving over. No one signed up to speak tonight, so we'll get past that for the record. Next is the reports. First and foremost, I want to submit the trustees' report as part of the minutes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, we're going to start with schools. Soraya?
Well, it's not been a slow news week for the school system. In all seriousness, I want you to know, and it's proven time and time again, we are always going to do what's right for kids. Not been an easy few weeks, but we appreciate your all support, certainly. Our school board just returned from Gatlinburg for the Summer Law Institute. I appreciate them for staying abreast of current topics and doing what's proper for school systems. We have school orientation July 31st, so we look forward to welcoming our new families. Bus routes, those will be published soon. We will be down one driver, but we've been able to revisit our routes, make those more efficient. We're going to be able to operate just fine with even one down. Good news, our test scores are up. I've just sent some information to Nathan, so that's going to be in the Tribune. Thank you. What you're going to see when you see the data is in the past 3 years, even the 5, we continue to trend upwards. I'm not satisfied just yet, but we do have great momentum under us, and that is because of the heart of our teachers, the focus that they have. And here's the thing, it's not easy what we're asking of these students, but they're rising to the challenge, and I appreciate the support. I know it's a busy night. For the sake of time, I have a very brief handout for you all. Any questions for me? All right.
Thank you, Sarai. Mr. Higgins.
Well, got my report there on the front, gives you 3 years, 3-month averages. You can see where some months are a little better than others, some are worse than others. Attachment A is current work activities. You can look there at the roads we've paved and tarred and chipped since our last meeting. And it also gives you a look ahead of what we're going to try to do in the future. Balance sheets there for y'all to look at. If you look at attachment C, I did a snapshot, just a few items to give y'all an idea of what I'm having to deal with. You should have a copy of what our garage has gotten since I've been in, since 2018. It's pretty much stayed flat. And just one line item in 12 months is going to cost us $104,000 a year. Okay, since last year to this year, hot mix. So that means I've got to cut about 1.5 miles out of my paving that I got set up this year. I don't have a choice. I'm at the minimum level of people I've got. We cut back on that to offset all this stuff. We're to the point we can't cut anymore, so it's got to come out of services now. There's no other way. Salt, another example. $83 a ton. It's $120 a ton now. We use about 300 ton a year, or about $36,000 increase. So, I mean, you start looking at this, and then I've got about $200,000 coming out of my budget, or about 10% been lost in a year. So that's something y'all look at. I've got some more information I've given Tommy over there. I'm going to continue to give him that information, and we'll go from there for Tommy. Other than that, we've got that letter I gave you that's in there for you to take care of, and then she said something about we had an amendment for hot mix. Is that something we can do tonight?
No.
Okay.
No,
So-
I'll need to go through budget.
All right, I'll
We'll bring it
tell
back
her.
We'll bring it back in September area.
Okay. Other than that, we've cut trees for about 2.5 months. That's pretty much all we've done. And they've been big ones. I've sent Keith some pictures of what we've been cutting out of the roads, about 6-foot diameter oak trees. We have to hire people to come get those, costs money. But we cut a lot of trees. We cut 30 trees out of one road not too long ago. So it's just, people got to understand we can only do so much.
Before we get into a little bit of this housekeeping item, anyone have any questions for Eric? Mr. Ship?
Is the cutback in your department gonna be on Lewis Chapel this year, or have you changed
Okay,
your
well,
mind?
what you gotta look at, Chester, is how much time and money I've spent out there on that mountain. I've got there's about 2 roads, maybe 3 roads I'm still gonna get out there. Now, once the pipeline and all the water line stuff's all that finished, I'm gonna pull that from state aid. While I'm mentioning state aid, everybody needs to understand this. When I went to my annual meeting with TDOT and the state, we've got Lewis Chapel Mountain Road got brought up as an example of what not to do, where they tried to bore into that road and made a mess. All right, TDOT told us that the water utilities, when we use state aid money, there's 0 tolerance going forward unless they bore under the road with the appropriate boring equipment. And if they do it, because I have to report it to them because we're using their money, then they say the water utility company, whoever does it, could be subject to have to redo the entire job. So that Lewis Chapel Mountain Road job was over $300,000. I wouldn't want to be that person. And that's the state, that's not me. I mean, there's a letter in there where they told me what they expect. And so we got to start being cognizant of that. But no, to my knowledge, nothing's getting cut out there because you got 2 roads out there I've got to deal with for sure.
We had the state aid to do that part that you did. And all our secondary roads, I've noticed that you paved, all over the county. I mean, and thank you for doing it. But, Lewis Chapel has not got one secondary road that's ever had one speck of damn blacktop asphalt put on it. None.
Well,
In 8 years or 6 years. I mean, it's just in the
you
floor.
had a lot of roads tarred and chipped, and we've done some
But we had
main
none.
roads. Main roads come first, Chester.
Yeah,
Category
but
1 roads
we've
come
got-
first.
We've got no main road that's been took care of. In
Well,
the
I've got
last
state
8 years.
aid money I have to use on category 1 roads. I ain't got a whole lot of money out of the normal money. I
But we
get.
seen you on secondary roads that paved them, several of them.
Yeah.
I took pictures, and you had time to hold grass down here in the ball field. But you hadn't got money for doing anything else for the wells.
Okay, Chester, I'm just gonna call it out that you need to go back and rethink what you're saying, because look at the rain we had in May, we couldn't mow a whole lot. Look at the rain we had in June, we couldn't mow a whole lot. I can't put tractors out there and pouring down rain and cause a liability to the county.
But here's what it had, Eric. We had road that comes out, like come out of Wind Rock, for example. We mowed a strip about 2 foot wide on the edge of the road. And the traffic coming out of that road could not see. Picnic Road, same way, you could not see the traffic coming the other way. We had a strip, that you could push a push mower through. I don't know whether people were afraid to get back on the, try to mow it down or what the deal is.
Well, I can
But we're
tell
not
you this,
satisfied.
I'm not coming back out there until I get signal done, because signal's not gotten completely mowed this year.
Definitely.
And when I get them done, then we'll start going back around the rest of the county and start redoing it.
Eric, I think the issue is you came to 3 community meetings over at our place, and we roughed out in December what roads needed done, and you agreed to it. We
Yeah,
priced them out.
and I just told you I lost about
Well, hold on a second.
$200,000.
Let me finish. And then those residents, when they didn't see that, there were residents here that stood up over the last couple months. And, you know, when we saw no action happening after those 2 water projects were done, they came and they complained, and, you know, we've gotten promise after promise.
You're talking about the main road?
After the main road.
The main road will not get paved until all that work is complete and the settling has stopped, because it's a waste of money, the state won't allow it, and then it's gonna come back on us. I'm not gonna have
We understood that there
that.
was no damage to those roads, that Henson Gap Road, that's what we were told.
Yes.
So.
And I've got
what
money put
settlement?
back to pave it, and when it gets ready, it will get paved, about
And
4 miles of
roughly
it.
how long is that gonna be? Here's the issue.
I can't, I'm not Jesus, I can't tell you when it's gonna quit raining, I can't
Well,
tell
but
you
you
when they're
have
gonna get
engineering
done.
expertise that you can give us a, you know, some qualified best guess on it.
It rained today and it wasn't even supposed to rain.
I'm not talking about the rain.
But
I'm
I can't
talking
work
about
in the rain like that.
Well, okay, that's one day,
I
but
mean,
I'm talking about.
you're wanting, see, we're going back to what I heard here. You're wanting specifics, and I got stuff, I got guys, everybody I've got in my
We
crews
just
are out
want-
working right now
we would
cutting
just
trees out of
like
the
to
road.
have our roads done, or, you know, somebody telling us, well, I can't do that, and here's a revised schedule. We have got none.
I'm not gonna give you a schedule, but I'm gonna try to do it
So,
this
and
year.
then we're not on here as a priority at all.
Let's.
You are a
let's-
priority.
let's-
I
let's
told you
start
it's gonna
this
take that road as soon as it gets
Let's-
ready.
Let's do this. Let's take this up in a road committee meeting. I mean, we've got a lot of people here, so let's take this up in a road
That's
committee
fine.
meeting. Let's schedule one, Tommy, you're the chairman of the road committee, let's schedule and air some of these issues, because we're wasting a lot of these people's time right here. So, anyone else with a question from here? One thing, you guys should have received, and part of the responsibility of the highway superintendent is to designate an interim successor. He basically gets hit by a bus, he has to name somebody. He's done that with William Taylor, who's worked there for several years, very capable. He's to file that with the chairman of the commission, which is myself, and the county clerk, and Madam Clerk, here's your official file. So, Eric, you're in compliance with that, thank you, and we appreciate the work you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, thank you. All right, Mr. Sheriff.
So I'm just going to bring one thing tonight, because I know you've got the budget that you need to go over and approve. And I've talked with a few of you over the past several months, actually, about an issue with the funds for the drug fund. And so we've found a lot of information on it, and I know several of you have been wanting me to bring that information. So we're just going to bring that tonight before the commission. So we realized several months ago, I guess a year or so ago now, that the funds, actually it was a little more than a year ago, the funds going into the drug fund from the courts in last fiscal year 24, was substantially less than it was in fiscal year 23. So I think all of you have received a letter from the general, and I hope that each of you also got a copy of the letter that I had sent. And I think it's kind of self-explanatory. I just kind of laid out what this, how I had come across all this and what I was trying to figure out. And what you saw there was the funds that came in the fiscal year 2023 were about 28,000 or below 28,000, something like that total. And it had dropped to under 5,000 for the fiscal year 24. So we were trying to find out what's the cause of this drop. It was a decrease in Sessions Court and Circuit Court. It was a decrease in one court of 81%, a decrease in the other court of 91%. So I tried to go back and get the numbers for 2020, fiscal year 22, but unfortunately, the trustees' equipment does not allow him to go back more than 1 year. So he was not able to go back and give me 2022. However, I went to the court clerk, and she was able to go back, ask her to just go back and randomly choose a 6-month period in fiscal year 22, and then compare that to the same 6-month period in fiscal year 24. She did that for me. She randomly chose November 1st through May 31st. So the funds during that 6-month period in fiscal year 2022 were $9,031.16 coming from the courts to the drug fund. That same period, 2 years later, in fiscal year 24, where there were more drug arrests, dropped to $3,051.39. So just like there was a tremendous drop in 2023 or 2024 from 23, there also was a tremendous drop from 2022. I tried to investigate all of the potential causes for it, like are there outstanding fines that could make up this difference. So we got a we had to go and search each case for that year for 2024. And we have the fines beside each of the cases. And what we found is that if all of these fines that are listed in the court clerk's records were paid, we still would have only been at $7,050. So we still would have been at about 30% of the previous year. So we've still not really found a good cause for it. It's not fewer cases; they're actually more cases. And we're just at this point we're just still looking. But what we're seeing is drastic reductions in the amount of money that's coming to our drug fund from the courts. So, like I say, I'm still racking my brain just trying to find a purpose for it. It's something in the process. We just don't know what.
Sheriff, is this happening in other cities, counties?
No, I reached out to the other 5 counties in our district, and I was not informed by any of them that they are experiencing this type of decline.
So do we think this is coming from whose office, the DA's office?
Well, we make the arrest. It goes to court. The DA's office prosecutes the case. And then the judge has to sign off on it. As most of you know, maybe all of you know, I go to all the community meetings countywide and have for several years now. And this is one thing that I hear a lot of out in the community. And one thing that I believe that the judges take a bad rap on this because, when a judge comes in and they've got a 3.5 or 4 hour docket and they've got 150 or 200 cases to try to dispose of, because they've got another docket starting at 1 o'clock. You know, they have to rely on what's brought to them to sign off on and dispose of that case in some way. So, you know, I feel like the judges get a bad rap on this, but I can't really place it because I don't know exactly what it is. There's something in the process, I just don't know what.
I think the letter that you sent out originally was more of a questioning, in the
Right.
spirit of questioning
Right.
why.
Yeah,
I know
and that's
the
why.
commissioners
Yeah.
received a letter from the DA. You know, it's gotten kind of back and forth, but and I know you're just trying to keep things transparent.
Right.
I recommended that the sheriff be transparent with you guys at this meeting, so.
Yeah, and I would like, I mean, I would like to follow that up with this publicly. You know, however long my time in this office is, I could do every day of it without dealing with stuff like this. I'd much rather talk about these deputies and their new uniforms we've gotten with the outer vest and all the things we got going on at the jail and all the other things. There's a lot of good things around the sheriff's office to talk about. However, I feel like when I stood in this room and took an oath to this office, along with that came a responsibility when something like this falls in my lap to try to find out what it is. And so that's what I've been trying to do.
And I hope, Sheriff, that you continue your investigation, come up with some type of logical explanation for it, and get back with that big Mary.
Well, I mean, we'll do what we can. I'm running out of English, but you know, but so, okay. Any questions?
Thank you, Sheriff, we appreciate it. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, so very quickly. As you all know, we got the $61,000 that had accumulated from the auctions and all that. We had it moved over so that we could purchase the ISOMS equipment. That project is way ahead of schedule. Actually, their live date is supposed to be September 1. That still may be the live date, but we're actively able to put things in that. That is going to be, it already has been a huge, huge plus for our department, for our county. You know, we were working on equipment from back in the 90s that was outdated and should have been trashed a long time ago. So that's going really, really well. And we're looking forward to getting fully live on that before the end of the year.
Thank you, Ted. Appreciate it. Okay, Miss Angie King, are you in the house? Yes, there you are, with AAAD. Angie's got some words on some exciting news. Welcome, Angie.
Thank you. Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for your time. I am here to give a rather exciting update on Mobile Mock. I don't know if members of the audience were here when I spoke about Mobile Mock last March, but basically I'll just give you a quick rundown. It is a mobile health unit similar to the Red Cross Bloodmobile, designed to bring healthcare services to older adults and caregivers in rural communities, Sequatchie County being one of the counties that it serves. If you would like more information, please let me know afterwards and I will gladly give you more. These are the preliminary stats that I have for the last quarter of Mobile Mock, and this is specifically for Sequatchie County. There were 23 medical visits, 3 of which were visits that may have resulted in an ER or urgent care visit. There were 4 occupational therapy visits, 3 social work consultations, 4 5M screenings. A 5M screening is what matters most: mentation, mobility, medication. Mentation refers to mental activity, including thinking, processing information, and memory. It encompasses the overall state of a person's mind and mood and can be assessed to identify potential issues like dementia, depression, or delirium. there were 4 visits wherein the patient had been more than 10 years since seeing a healthcare provider. And there was one that was enrolled in Project Access. Project Access is a community charity that coordinates special medical care between physicians, hospitals, and other community partners that donate their services, and local residents who don't qualify for other programs. So that, in a nutshell, is what has taken place just in Sequatchie County. So I do urge the commissioners to please continue to spread the word about Mobile Mock. I did ask at today's meeting if there was any sense of whether or not there may be additional dates and locations for Mobile Mock within our community. And I was told that it is promising at this point, so I would just encourage people to please continue to spread the word. I have 2 other things to bring up. The other is there's a Sequatchie County Health Fair that will be held August 6th from 9 to 1 Central at the Sequatchie County Senior Center. The following community organizations will be on site to provide education and resources for health aging. The Tennessee Alliance for Legal Services, Southeast Tennessee AAAD, which is the agency on the Area Agency on Aging and Disability, that's a mouthful, WellPoint, SETHRA, the Kidney Foundation, Department of Health Dental Services, Hamilton County Coalition, the Chattanooga Area Food Bank, MDiocese Hospice, the Tennessee Department of Health School-based Dental Program, and CHI Memorial Mammogram Bus. Those will all have representatives available on August 6th at the Sequatchie County Senior Center. Lastly, there will be a speech and hearing center at the Senior Center doing hearing screenings by appointment only on July 29th. The telephone number to schedule an appointment is 423-425-1657. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
2 testimonials. This is probably one of the best services I've seen in Sequatchie County. A client of mine has gone to that, and a family member has gone to that, and report back the best level of care and personal treatment she's received here in over 13 years. Someone that was very intimidated by going to doctors, language barrier, all kinds of things that would be normally difficult, had one of the best experiences, continues, and it's so convenient. So this is, if this is not, we can't lose this, so if using it as part of it, please, I mean, those are just 2 testimonials. You've done a fantastic job, and it is,
That's wonderful to hear, and I'll be sure to pass that on to all of the members. And I would encourage people, just to even go to the health fair, because even if you may not need it yourself, there may be somebody that you may run into, and it's an excellent place to glean some information. I'll be available after the meeting if anybody has any questions about what AAAD provides. There are a lot of no-cost services available to the aged and disabled in our community. I would encourage people to please check on it. Hi.
Yeah, Angie, we've been great supporter of this. This is a great thing for the county. But where do you advertise this? How can we help you get the word out?
Well, so far I've just been going around, local businesses and whatnot, but I've asked people, to, post on social media, if they can. And I will be giving flyers to management. We'll include it in the minutes. So I'm open to suggestions.
And you're live tonight on several platforms.
That's great. Spread the word. Yes.
Is there perhaps space, what I'm getting at, Mr. Cartwright, is on the county website to put a tab in there?
Sure. If she brings something by, we'll be glad to post it. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Angie. We appreciate it. Okay, Sheldon with Ag.
You should have received a handout that kind of highlights things for the last couple of months, particularly June, which was a pretty busy month with some day camps and actual 4-H camps. So that should cover most of the activities. A couple of things though, as of Friday, I have 2 vacant positions in my office. 4-H agent left at the end of June, and our FCS agent, Haley, left Friday. So I'm looking for co-workers. So we're starting the process with the 4-H. We've got that one moving through the system. It's probably going to be February before we are able to hire an FCS agent. It is the way it's looking right now. So those are a couple of things that's really going on right now, is trying to find qualified candidates for those positions. We're also winding down our 4-H year. Our 4-H program year kind of follows the school year, so July is the last of that program year. So we're starting to get ready for the new school year and starting on our 4-H program during the school year. And one thing, I was going through the reports that need to be turned in, is our overall 4-H enrollment from last year is up almost 11% from the last school year. So that's actually a pretty good sign that some things are working and happening, and hopefully before the end of this calendar year we'll have a 4-H agent who can continue that trend. So the other thing, Heritage Farm. You know, we're talking just before the meeting started, we are working on some applications and trying to twist 1 or 2 more arms to do that last little bit to finish their application process. So I think the plan is for September to hopefully be able to bring a couple more for the commission for the Heritage Farm.
Very good. Any questions for Shelley? Shelley, we appreciate what you do. Thank you. All right, up next, Ms. Janice, give us the update on the chamber, please.
Thank you for allowing me to be here. I think each of you probably received, says Charting Our Vision for Sequatchie County, and I'm not going to read it to you except through 3-Star, which is from the Tennessee Department of Economic Development. 3-Star came and we did a community asset inventory, which I can provide that to you at any time, and then developing a clear vision of where is it we want to be and how do we use our assets identified, and then we'll do some listening to focus on our goals around the county, building partnerships, embracing the whole community, and telling our story. I think one of the places that we fall down is telling our story, and we have a great story to tell. With that being said, some upcoming things. We've applied for the 3-Star grant, the Tourism Enhancement, Tourism Marketing grants opening pretty soon. We have the Small Town America Dunlap Heritage Days Festival that's coming up September 12th, 13th, and 14th. And it's going to focus on our heritage and our history. So when I call you and say, you know, bring us, if you know anybody that whittles, I need somebody that whittles. Somebody that knows how to play marbles and jacks. Y'all may not remember them. Susan, you may, but, you know, you won't. So those are the kind of people that I'm looking for, people that remember our younger days. Blaine, I want to acknowledge you and your video and what it's done, and we were proud through the chamber to share and promote that. We did an opening for Morton Industries, and he said, do you think I need to buy hot dogs and hamburgers for 50 people? And I said, no, you need to plan on 200 people because we'll get them there. They had over 400 people. They're hiring, they're going to be hiring more, so if you know anybody that needs a job, Morton Industries. What I will tell you and ask for your help on is the chamber is going to oversee the 250th birthday of the United States. I'm in the process of applying for a grant to help pay for that. It's about our culture, our history. So Ms. Angie, you and Jeff get ready because you know I'm going to be calling you.
Janice, is that for the entire nation?
It's our No, it's just for
Sequatchie
dogs
County.
and carpet. Sorry. It's the birthday of our nation.
That's a big leap.
It is. From,
Congratulations.
I'm not 250, our nation is. So we're gonna be doing around the community. So Tommy, when y'all are doing anything for a birthday party for our nation, when we get this grant, it's going to support what you do. It will support Cagle and Fredonia, Lewis Chapel, anybody, the veterans, anybody that's doing anything for our birthday party. It's going to be big. The library, so we'll be the rescue squad. We're going to have a birthday party. So, County Executive, if I can get you to come down, I need to present something to you, to the commission.
Okay.
And you may not know it, but we work at the Chamber very, very diligently for our community, for our county, and for our city. We were recognized nationally, and I just received this yesterday, nationally by the National Scenic Byway Foundation as the 2025 award for the Sequatchie Valley National Scenic Byway. So I would like for you to have that.
On behalf of the commission, I'm going to leave this out here, so if
Thank you.
anybody wants to view this, they're welcome to.
So what are your questions? Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Janice. Appreciate it. Okay, Brian, I know with 911, we've got a little reappointment to do later, but anything else from 911? Jay Mack, you got an update on emergency service?
Yeah, I can give you a quick update on this real quick. We took no votes in action to present to the commission. There were 3 items on the agenda for us to discuss this evening. One was the tower that was on Lewis Chapel. We're still in receiving quotes for equipment. We're still working with that tower site that we have up there. There's no real new news to put. If anybody wasn't aware, the Lewis Chapel repeater site that is at the fire hall, it is against the fire hall, got struck by lightning recently, and we're receiving quotes to replace that equipment up there and get that moving forward. The second item we had to discuss today was the fire department reporting requirements, and there's some ambiguity about this, and this also came up as an issue in budget committee as well. So what we're looking to have is our county executive work with CCAS and with our county attorney to determine exactly what that one paragraph is asking us to do under state law for the fire departments to report to, and we'll get back to that in September and get a report back for that. One thing that we did agree on is that the fire departments in reporting have to put out their expenditures as per the comptroller of the state, and they have to provide a copy of that, the receipts and expenditures of the monies and what they spent it on, basically how much money you got and where you spent it. And we'll also have to prove back that we put forth and filed and maintain a 501c3 or 4 charitable organization to receive funds from the county. And part of the reporting requirements is to submit proof and that form from the comptroller. But going forward, we'll get a clarification next meeting as to what exactly that paragraph was looking to do for the reporting. The third item that we had was Puckett Ambulance Service. It seems like there's a pretty big consensus on the Emergency Services Committee that we want to maintain a relationship as a county with Puckett. So what we're going to do is direct our county executive, and if you haven't been told this yet, Keith, we're telling you now. So just to know, this is marching orders for you. That we would like to get a requirements document from what Puckett is looking for in a new contract with us. The contract that we currently have with the ambulance service expires 30th of June next year. We cannot renew that. We've used both of our renewal options, so we have to go through and sign a new contract with Puckett. So we're going to come up with their requirements documents and anything that we need to build, construct, move, remodel. Our county executive should also come up with some cost estimates. You got till the 15th day of September to do so. There, Mr. Cartwright. Next Emergency Services Committee meeting will be at 4 o'clock on the 15th day of September, right here in this courthouse.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, up next, Linda, give us a opioid initiative committee update, please.
So in June and July, we went out with another application, a second round application for opioid grant money. It closed July 7th, so we went through our normal scoring. We had question and answer with both applicants, and a recommendation to the commission will be that no award at this time for the two applicants, and mainly because they did not meet all the application requirements. The state has some stringent, very stringent rules for what we can and cannot approve. There was also a member of the SMART team. This is our consultants from up in Nashville. They were present during this meeting and during our deliberations. And we came to the conclusion that we really needed, in partnership with them, to run an opioid grant writing workshop, which right now is scheduled August 5th. You all got the information. This just happened here in the last probably couple days that we put all this together. It'll be down at the conference room on Coops Common, 1 to 4 p.m. Central Time. Anybody can come to this. If you're just an interested party, want to know how the process works, how the money works, come on down. Anybody who is thinking of applying for either a grant in the near term or any time in the future, because this program goes on for 18 years, then please come by and understand how the process works and how you have to, the very stringent requirements, how you have to present those in your application to be successful. Afterwards, we're going to open up a third round of grant applications. It'll probably be the last one for this year. We believe that both of the organizations that did apply could provide the services that would address gaps in the continuum of care for addiction-related services and be beneficial to Sequatchie County. So I guess the good news is that those two organizations can still get there, and it would be of benefit to the county. So that's why we're going to do this workshop. Other things that we've been working on, we've reached out to all 4 community centers, 4 active community centers, and asked if they would allow us to do a recovery and aftercare program. We have 2 of the community centers that right now, the first one already had their first meeting, which is Lewis Chapel. The second one is Cagle. They'll have their first meeting on August 7th. And basically right now the locations are moving so people can go to different meetings. There's also another one down here in Dunlap, different organization. But hopefully we can get some momentum going, and this will be of benefit to the county. It's basically like AA, except it's Narcotics Anonymous in nature. There will be a faith-based component but not strictly faith-based. Some people, kind of don't tune into that frequency. So it'll be an approach that, everybody can live under the tent. But the bottom line is you're in a recovery support group is really what it is. This is even for parents or people that you don't have to be an addict to go to this. We had several people from the community who were dealing with this in their family came to the meeting, and it was very beneficial. The Tennessee Department of Health is also, they have put together, and it's in draft format right now. They did a tabletop in one of the neighboring counties recently, but it's a draft overdose monitoring and response plan. It basically serves as a general guide for Tennessee Department of Health, our region, Southeast region, to respond to acute overdose situations. It involves a lot of surveillance and monitoring. It's already implemented in Marion County, and we'll probably be seeing this implemented in our county in the near future. This is a good thing. This is like when new drugs, come into the region. And you see different effects. You see the deaths tick up, or just overdoses in general. This is really a surveillance and monitoring system to pick up on that and try to get ahead of that before more people get sick or die. We also have a RISE Navigator. What that is someone who coordinates services for somebody that's seeking help for addiction-related situations. So We have the VBH, you know, at the last meeting, the commission approved volunteer behavioral health service. They're on contract and they are working in our communities. But this is now the RISE Navigator. It's a state asset. We don't have to pay for it. And that should give us a lot more bandwidth to handle more cases, things that maybe VBH doesn't cover, the RISE Navigator can cover. So what we're trying to do is put enough pieces in place so we have that continuum of care in the county. Last thing is we have the Smarts hosting a conference in Nashville this week, the 25th. It's open to commissioners if anybody wants to come to that. Also the opioid committee members. And this is basically to see other counties in Middle Tennessee, learn their best practices, that kind of stuff, share information so we can get better at what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Okay, Ms. Robin with the library.
Good evening. If you haven't heard, if you haven't been on the paper or Facebook or TikTok, summer reading program was a success. It was from June 1st to June 30th. Just a little bit of information. We had 4,800 patrons in the month of July just in our summer reading program. The incentive for the children to read, they got to earn Dolly Dollars. Every 30 pages they read, they earned Dolly Dollars. They got to collect their Dolly Dollars and spend their Dolly Dollars in our Dolly store. If you know anything about Miss Robin, she loves Dolly, so we had a great time spending our Dolly Dollars. These Dolly Dollars we spent over $8,000 in Dolly Dollars. That breaks it down to 200,000 pages that were read in Sequatchie County for our children. Lastly, we couldn't have a successful summer reading program with the support of our wonderful board, the city, the county, Friends of the Library, and all of our volunteers that came and helped, because if it wasn't for these guys, we wouldn't have had a successful summer reading program as we did. So a little tidbit, when I sent these numbers to our region, they called me and said, Miss Robin, something's happened. Your numbers are a little high. And I said, Mr. Matt, I did check our numbers and they are correct. So very, very proud of our library. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate it. Okay, is anyone from Puckett here? I didn't see Joe earlier. I see the library friends out here. Hello, ladies. And Paul. Okay, no one from Puckett. Let's move over to yes, Miss Pam Scott with the FAB. I think you're in the house. Yeah, Miss Pam. Going to give us an update, I think.
I am pretty much here on behalf of the Sequatchie County Fair Board to tell y'all thank you. Thank you for the roof. Thank you for the air conditioning. Thank you for the appropriations that you give us every year. And along with all our pickleball players, thank you so much for the floor in the gym that's going to be repaired starting Wednesday.
Good.
Our fair is August 14th through the 16th. The pageant is August the 9th. Our carnival will be here the 12th through the 16th. And as many of you know, we are going to be building a livestock show barn. We received a $20,000 grant from the Department of Ag to help us pay for it. And our groundbreaking will be September the 15th. And your invitations will be in the mail. And we want to thank you for your support and hope we see you all at the fair.
Thank you, Pam. Appreciate it. Okay, JP, take us in the budget with the veterans report, please.
A very short report. I was awaiting the release of the 2024 GDX, but it has not yet been released. Hopefully by September, we'll show you that. Not too much to report. Like I said, all of our numbers look pretty good. With the new software, they haven't enabled all the reports yet, so I can't get the same level of detailed numbers that I was getting with the old one. Hopefully that'll be fixed come the next meeting. I got my accreditation with Vietnam Veterans of America, so I'll be able to address some claims that I've not been able to address. And on the back, what I included was, this is how I try to give you a little general information. This is how the VA rates different mental disabilities, especially PTSD. And what's really of note is if you look at the smaller levels, there's a lot of symptoms here veterans you know in your life may not even know they have. So it's important for them to get treatment and to get compensation that's due. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
I see Tommy and Johnny back there. Thank you guys for just being there. What a nice looking building. Money well spent by the taxpayers. Great job. Great job. All right, Mr. Barber. Yes, sir. We're to you, sir, with the Budget Committee. Did I miss any other report from any government entity or nonprofit? Not seeing any, so Mr. Barber, take us into new business.
All right. So I'll just kind of follow your agenda that you have here. So, the Budget Committee did meet. You want to do the motions first, or do we want to jump on into the budget? What's the cadence you want to go?
You've got some action items.
Yep. I do have some action items. So we'll do those first?
Yes.
All right.
And then I'm going to have you take a breather, and I'm going to bring on early literacy, then bring you back out.
Okay. All right. The Budget Committee did meet this afternoon at 5:30. We only had a couple of items on our thing to discuss. And the first one, and this came as a motion out of the Budget Committee to grant the Lewis Chapel Fire Department the surplus request of the Humvee that they have been using. It was a motion from the Budget Committee to surplus that Humvee and allow Lewis Chapel to sell that to a piece of equipment to help pay for their new to them brush truck.
You've heard the motion from the budget. I have a second from Mr. Johnson. Do any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, because it could exceed 5,000, on roll call.
Linda Lundowski.
Yes.
Chester Shell.
Yes.
Brian Ruling.
Yes.
Blaine Lane.
Yes.
James Breland.
Yes.
Brian Walker.
Yes.
Joyce Dodson.
Yes.
James Wilson.
Yes.
Jeff Barger.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
June Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Wayne Clemens.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tom Venera.
Yes.
Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Surplus is hereby granted. Mr. Barber.
All right. And you might want to, Miss Rachel may want to ask some questions on this. Do you want to hold off on
Bring
that?
up the motion. If there's any discussion, we'll have Rachel.
Okay. All right. The second item that the Budget Committee considered, and this came as a motion out of the Budget Committee. There was the funding request from Sequatchie Haven Corporation for the affordable housing, and it came as a motion from the Budget Committee to grant, not in your paperwork that said $75,000, but $100,000 to the housing funding project, and that was a motion from the Budget Committee.
You've heard the motion. Do I hear a second? I've got a second from Mr. Mackey. Any questions, comments?
Did we do
Mr.
this?
Shell.
Yes, that's a two-story building that's built in the 70s. And it's sort of outdated for the elderly to, get up and down those steps, which I'm getting old myself, and I know how it is. Also, it presents a health risk if somebody falls in that thing. And we have all those new low-income houses. I think that we would be wasting money if we put a lot more money in that the ladies building in that building in the 70s.
When you bring up a point, maybe we should increase it.
All right. Any other comments?
Did we do this last year, Keith?
We did. The grant didn't come through though. This is really not a match. This is what do we call it, Rachel?
Leverage.
Leverage dollars that also should be presented to the city, and I've got faith that they'll step up as well. So, yes, Mr. Paul.
They call a valid point, but we not have what's happening number 2 up here, it's on the same level where you can live at the same level without, they think you've got a
We
phone or
do.
something.
Yes, we do.
That would eliminate the problem they talked about.
Correct. Any other comment? Yeah. Madam Clerk, Ms. Lindsay.
Yeah, no, I voted no on this in committee, and the reason I did that is we come, it's late in the year, we've had, we've gone through the last 6 months of budget process, and we get this thing last minute the night we're getting ready to vote on the budget. I think we need to have some more discipline, and I think also on the county's part, that we ask for, we have a call for, people that are going to apply for donations, and then some guidance, and then that way we kind of see all these things all at once, and we make the trade-offs there through the process instead of getting these things last minute. This is not dependent on the grant. It's not a match, as was mentioned, but when you ask for $75,000 and then then it gets increased to 100, 120. Where do we stop? We need some fiscal discipline here. So that's why I'm going to vote no on this. I'm not voting no on the, the idea, but it's just the process that we have here in the commission and in the committee. And then, to me, I'd like to see a lot more discipline.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Venero.
I was the one that made the motion from 75 to 100. I am fiscally conservative. And when there's a need, there's a need. Oftentimes people coming from our budget committee, knowing there's opinions that they're afraid to ask for money because of accusations of last minute deals or things like that. So I asked Rachel first, what amount do you actually need? Tell us what you actually need. She said 100,000. That was the reason I made the motion to increase it from 75 to 100.
Any other comment? Madam Clerk, I'm calling for the question. A roll call, please.
Linda Lanowski.
No.
Chester Shell.
No.
Ron Ruling.
Yes.
Blaine Lane.
Yes.
James Breland.
Yes.
Ron Walker.
Yes.
Joyce Dodson.
Yes.
James Wilson.
Yes.
Jeff Barker.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
Jim Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Wayne Clemens.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tom Venero.
Yes.
Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Motion hereby passes. Mr. Barker.
All right, that's all the motions that came out of the budget committee as far as any kind of motions like that. There was just a brief kind of summary of the budget committee, and there was a brief discussion on 501c3s and the legality of appropriating funds if those 501c3s aren't.
But no action taken.
Yeah, but no action was taken. Motion failed and without a second.
Thank you very much.
You want me to take a break before we do
Take a
budget?
little break, and I'm going to get into new business here, and I'm going to bring you right back up. Okay, sir?
All right.
Okay, I think we got all the reports that I'm aware of. In the house with us tonight, part of the Early Literacy Day proclamation, Ms. Dee Dee Roberts is with us, and the regional representative, Rachel Ellis. Would you ladies please come forward? Guys, we have a joint proclamation in your packets with the city of Dunlap declaring August 30th as Early Literacy Day. These ladies want to speak to you just for a moment, and then we will adopt this proclamation.
Good evening. On behalf of the Sequatchie County Friends of the Library and the Sequatchie County Dolly Parton Imagination Library, I just want to thank you for your continued support of this program. It's an amazing program, and by designating a day every year for early literacy, it does bring awareness to the need to read to our children and to put tons of books in their hands. One of my favorite quotes from Dolly Parton is, "We can never get enough books into the hands of enough kids." And I truly agree with that. So that is one thing that is leading to our 20th birthday celebration. Imagination Library has been in our county for 20 years. And over that time period, we have graduated over 2,100 children. And currently, we have about 515 kids enrolled. That's about 60% of the eligible children in our community. And that has grown over the last year about 5%, 4.5%, 5%. I'll go with 5%. So we're super excited that this is continuing to grow. And just thank you again for allowing this. This is Miss Rachel Ellis. She is with the Governor's Early Literacy Foundation, which is part of the program. GELF partners with the Dollywood Foundation, and then they partner with us, our community, to supply this program. Did you want to say anything?
Yeah. I just want to say on behalf of the Governor's Early Literacy Foundation, thank you for supporting early literacy in Sequatchie County. Dee Dee has done an A+ job getting books in the hands of your children and making that known to the public as one imminent piece of this success of this foundation. So I just want to let you know you have mailed over 100,000 books out in the last 20 years, and that is worth celebrating because that has impacted over 100,000 children in the last 20 years. So that is an incredible feat, and none other than Dee Dee has made this birthday celebration come to life. So please get out there and support at this birthday celebration. But thank you again for allowing books to go in the homes of your children.
Yes, the birthday celebration is going to be August 30th. It's going to be at Harris Park. It's free to all families. It's from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon. And we're hoping to get about 300 kids along with their families. So it's going to be a big party.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adopt said resolution proclamation. Mr. Hudson, I have a second from Mr. Bonero. Any discussion or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of this proclamation say a resounding aye. Love, no. Said proclamation hereby passes. Ms. Ellis, welcome to our fair county. Welcome anytime, and thank you, Dee Dee, for the hard work you put in, and the Friends of the Library.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, Mr. Barger, would you give us some highlights on this, these next three resolutions we're going to pass?
All right. So, about 21 days ago, we passed out the proposed budget for 25-26 fiscal year. A couple of the highlights that I would like to do, kind of reiterate, because I talked about those when we passed it out that night, is that there's no tax increase in this budget. None. All the funds are revenue over expenses. So it means that as you go through it, all of the funds are balanced. The fire department's increased to $30K per department. There's in here there's employees raises anywhere from 4 to 6%. And at the end of the day, and this is our best projection, right? The fund balance is growing. It looks like, you know, projections go the way they should. 100 grand or 200 grand added to an already was 3.4 million fund balance, something like that. So that's kind of the big highlights for the budget. And you want to go through the resolutions, Mr. Chairman?
I'll take those through. I'll do that from this chair. So I think we're good to go, Mr. Parker. So
all right.
Take your seat if you need to.
We'll do that.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
All right. Mr. Barker seated. All right, in your package, you should have received Resolution 803, the appropriations for various funds. I'll entertain a motion to approve said resolution. I have a motion from Mr. Powell, a second from Jim Bolt-Reba. Any comment or discussion on this? Ms. Linda.
So throughout the budget process, I've been very vocal about how we need to be more responsible with the 501c3 donations. Mainly because, and I think the law is very clear, it's written in simple language, it tells you what paperwork you're supposed to submit on an annual basis. And so many organizations did not submit that paperwork. And it is, you know, and then also some of the organizations as they appear, you know, there are a couple organizations that actually aren't active 501s and they have lost their tax exemption. If you don't file your IRS form for 3 consecutive years, I know I'm preaching to the choir, a lot of you know this, then you lose your exemption. You gotta go through that process again. So based on that, you know, they're all listed in the budget, or this motion will be to appropriate that money to those organizations, and later we'll vote on actually providing that money in a different resolution to those organizations. So I don't have a problem with with voting for donations that we have discussed, you know, for many months here. That is much needed for fire departments and other organizations. The fair came up here, you know, they do great work, and a lot of other organizations, but I do have a problem with people that, you know, don't comply with the law. And the law is very clear here. And I don't think, you know, to me, there's no ambiguity, as some of my colleagues have tried to confuse the issue with that. It's very clear. If you've lost your tax exempt status, we cannot appropriate it. That's in the law. That's in Tennessee code. So I'm not going to compromise my integrity and also spend your tax dollars on organizations that are not compliant with this law. So I will be voting no.
I think what you're speaking of is actually Resolution 805, the appropriation of nonprofits, not this specific.
No, I am, because we are actually appropriating the money in this budget to those organizations. This is the appropriation, so the money is in the budget. We're voting on that in this resolution to put the money in the budget.
So you'll be voting no on the resolution?
I'll be voting no because it's in this budget. In the budget committee, we discussed removing those organizations that weren't compliant.
We'll be expecting a no vote.
Right, well, I'm not done yet. I have another comment. I also have an issue with the way that we're determining raises across the county. We've been doing, 2 years ago, 3% raise across the board, 5% raise across the board last year. We've got people that are working full-time that are not making a living wage, $13, $14 an hour. So, you know, to me, that if we continue to do this process, we're still, you know, we have people that are still falling behind. And what we really need to do is focus on, you know, what's fair for our employees and how do we get there. So I really had a lot of heartburn with the way we do that. It's a simple way for budget accounting reasons, but I think we need to roll up our sleeves as a county commission and do the work to figure out what those salaries and ranges should be, what the incentive should be, and have a policy in the county of how actually bonuses, bonuses, how we actually do those, and have a rule that applies across the board on how the county does that. That does not get into the knickers of the department heads and telling them how to run their departments. It's policy across the board for the county. And I'll give you an example of something that actually, okay, so we're going to, in the budget, there's a 4% raise for those departments that are actually getting bonuses, and there's a few of them. The raise is 6% across the board for those departments that don't get bonuses. Okay, but one of those departments had a change in leadership this year. So that money that was already appropriated in that budget last year got spread, but when that vacancy was filled by somebody in the organization, there was still money left over in that salary, in that budget, and it got spread across the people in that department. So actually that department is getting more than one raise. Thank you.
This was all taken up in committee. This might be grandstanding in front of the camera. This is unacceptable. Any other comments?
You know, I'm going to make a comment too, and I'm going to say that I rather agree with Linda Lewandowski. We'll sit around and wait for lightning to strike, but I don't think we're doing enough for our employees, and I very much do not like the split raise that we're giving, and I think we need to do more. Every year we come here and appropriate money. We live in a penthouse on top of a building whose foundation is supported by those who work for us. Those being in the county offices, those being here in the courthouse, those being the teachers at the school system. we, as a county commission, need to back them up and stand up and support them. And for that reason, I think we're going down the wrong road with this, and I would like to see that increased. I really would like to see a 10% raise across the board now. Let's give it to them. Let's take care of it and go. I realize there might be budget constraints, but at this point, I'd like to throw a motion out there that we do at least 8%.
We have a motion on the floor to second at this point, so we'll deal with that first. Anyone else?
I have one more comment, if I may. I'm not grandstanding in front of the cameras. I'm trying to explain to the people of
We've
the
had 8
county.
committee meetings.
I'm trying to explain to the county things that you don't hear because the budget committee meetings aren't recorded and you won't see that in minutes.
All right, you've heard the comments. Madam Clerk, roll call on Resolution 803.
Wait a second, Keith, before we do that, how are we going to address this change here? Do we do that? I want to put forth the motion to do away with this 4 and 6%.
But we already have a motion on the floor. We deal with that first. If this gets voted down, then we'll come back and take that motion up.
So you're saying we can't even put that motion forward?
If this fails, you can. I mean, but there's no need to if this.
So in other words, in order for us to go back and revisit, for me to add that motion to give an 8% raise, we have to vote down the budget as it stands.
That's correct.
And then we can go back, make the amendment, and then re-vote on the budget?
That's correct.
Okay, then I would say I'm gonna vote no, just so we can go back and revisit and give these people a raise that they deserve.
Mr. Lee.
Yeah, just, so my position has been, I made this in budget, so it's not a surprise. I did make the last budget committee meeting, but I had said that I thought the raises were too low. I maintain that. I do want the budget to go forward because I know that there's some members of the commission that if you vote no or you vote yes, they'll say that your thought process was this or that. I wasn't referring to you, you can turn around. So I don't think the raise is enough. I think that there's opportunities to give more, and we talked to the elected officials on that. But again, I want to move forward on that. But I just want it to be noted that I did advocate for that at our budget committee meeting, and during all the committee meetings, along with my fellow commissioner. I said that all along with this. But I do think it's important to know that. And in terms of expenditures and revenue, Mr. Barber's done a great job with that. I want to commend him for that. But I always think there's more money. I think with a fund balance, you have more money. With uncollected properties that are out there, more money. Voting down leases, there could have been more money. So I don't want it to be a money reason. If it's for other reasons, I can understand that. So when people are voting, make it for that. But if you're voting that there wasn't enough money to do it, I would just ask that you consider that. Thank you.
Well, I would ask that we consider voting no on the first round just so we can add it. I mean, the rules are what the rules are. So if we vote this down the first round to add that to it, we can always vote this in immediately behind it with the change that is there because of the way the motion second work. That's a clarification. So a no vote would actually
run another 3 column in the paper. Another 10 pages. Again, this came out of budget committee, 8 meetings we had. This was
comment.
Mr. Ship.
Well, I said over if we had policies and procedures and had a career ladder, we could avoid a lot of this, getting in this situation. It would do itself as the policies and procedures are going through in career ladders and based on their work ethic stuff. That would eliminate a lot of this guesswork and somebody gets more money than me, that stuff. That would stop that.
We're a general law county. The county constitutional officer that is elected is bound to determine what their employees make, not the county.
I know, but it still creates a diversion like we got.
Any other comments?
One comment. I've been through this process. What did the departments come to the budget committee? What was their request? 5% raise. Right? Am I wrong or am I right?
Correct.
And through negotiations, it went for 4% and 6%. Right?
Correct.
So in this budget, we are essentially giving the elected officials, the department heads, what they ask for. Not what we think they need, but what they ask for. And
That's why I'll be voting yes.
And I agree with that. I just recommend elected officials next year ask for 8 to 10 under that rule of law. That's exactly what my point was about my vote.
Point taken. Any other comments? Madam Clerk, roll call on Resolution 803.
Linda Lewandowski.
No.
Chester Shell.
No.
Ron Ruling.
Yes.
Lane Lane.
Yes.
James Breland.
Yes.
Ron Walker.
Yes.
Joyce Dodson.
Yes.
James Wilson.
Yes.
Jeff Barger.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
June Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Wayne Clemmons.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tom Venero.
Yes.
Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Resolution 803 hereby passes. In your package, you should have received Resolution 804, the tax levy. As Mr. Barger stated, there is no tax increase this year. It remains at 1.8366. I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution 804. Mr. Breeden and Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker is the second. Any discussion or comments? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call on the tax levy.
Linda Lewandowski.
Yes.
Chester Shell.
Yes.
Ron Ruling.
Yes.
Lane Lane.
Yes.
James Breland.
Yes.
Ron Walker.
Yes.
Joyce Dodson.
Yes.
James Wilson.
Yes.
Jeff Barger.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
June Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Wayne Clemmons.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tom Venero.
Yes.
Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Resolution 804 hereby passes. In your packet, Resolution 805, the appropriations for nonprofits. I'll entertain a motion to approve said resolution.
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion from Mr. Johnson. I have a second from Mr. Powell. Any comment and or discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Linda Lewandowski.
No.
Chester Shell.
No.
Ron Ruling.
Yes.
Lane Lane.
Yes.
James Breland.
Yes.
Ron Walker.
Yes.
Joyce Dodson.
Yes.
James Wilson.
Yes.
Jeff Barger.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
June Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Wayne Clemmons.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tom Venero.
Yes.
Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Resolution 805 hereby passes. Next up is the 911 Board reappointment that I am recommended at this chair of Stacy Williams. Stacy's done an excellent job. Brian, with 911, would you say that is accurate? Absolutely. He's here at many of our commission meetings. He's a retired trooper, very knowledgeable in that subject, so I'm throwing the name and I'll entertain a motion to reappoint and bless my recommendation of
So
Stacy
moved.
Williams. I have a
Second.
motion from Mr. Mackey, a second from Mr. Powell. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Mr. Williams is hereby reappointed. We've handled the Sequatchie Haven funding request from Miss Rachel, and I think she stepped out. But, okay. One comment from the county executive. All this passed tonight. These are your copies of the comptroller, what's going to be sent to the comptroller. So if you don't have one, come by and get the budget, and these are for you guys. So as we exit, come by and get that if you don't have one. Appointment notice.
So I have 2 notaries to be approved tonight. The first one is going to be for Edna Faust and Sarah Smith.
Okay, you've heard the bill of fare. I'll entertain a motion, Mr. Powell, and a second from Mr. Venero. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ms. Faust, associate hereby passed. Okay, any announcements from any of the commissioners? Blaine? didn't get to come to your event, but I heard it was a huge success. Thank you for what you're doing. It's making a difference. Any other comment? Folks, we stand adjourned.